Hey guys, this is David Wynn with your Mortgage Edge podcast brought to you by Click and Close Mortgage. Today, I got a very special lady, Azalia Mathis from the Houston, Texas area. Azalia, welcome to the show. What's going on?
Hi. It's actually Mathis, not
Mathis, I'm sorry.
Matthews, but very commonly interchanged. So, yes. I'm doing great. I'm here in my mobile office and excited to talk to you today.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we know you're a powerhouse realtor out there in Houston. Let's talk a little bit about how you got into the business. How long have you been a realtor?
It will be 10 years come September.
10 years in September. And what'd you do
Yeah.
before that?
I was a teacher and a school administrator.
A teacher and a school administrator.
Yes.
Why is it that all realtors, ex-teachers, make the best realtors? I think it has to do with education. Because you go from educating kids to now you're educating borrowers or clients or whatever. But
Yeah, yeah, it definitely helps. There's a lot of things that I've pulled from my training as a teacher, as a school admin that I use in my real estate practice every day. So,
you're originally from California, is that correct?
yes, that's right.
Okay, and you moved to Texas 10 years ago?
No, I moved actually, it's been 20 years.
Okay, so you've been in Texas 20
Yeah,
years. Okay,
it
wow.
goes by fast. Yeah,
It goes by
I'm like,
fast,
oh my
right?
gosh, I feel old now. So, I
So
feel like it was just 10 years ago, but now, yeah, 2004, I came into Houston. Yeah.
that's awesome. So what made you
Uh-huh.
transition from being a school teacher, educator to the real estate?
Well, I mean, as I'm sure you know, and probably have talked to a lot of teachers, the education field is wonderful in fact that it's rewarding and you're helping and you're being of service. But unfortunately, there's a lot of uh, bureaucracy that goes into it. The pay is not as great. And a lot of teachers actually look for side, we call them now side
Side
hustles or
hustles,
side
yeah.
jobs. And for me, it was necessarily not a side hustle, but in 2007, when I purchased my own house, I was like, oh, this is really interesting. I really loved the process of it. I loved the negotiation part. I know not everyone likes it, but I love that part. And so I said, okay, this is something I might want to explore. And it took me a couple of years till I actually went and did the classes and took the test, but my plan was to kind of keep it on the side while I continued being a school admin. But of course that changed because now I'm full-time real estate in
And
full-time in real estate. Yeah.
well, you're not just a full-time real estate. You do big numbers. I've seen your numbers, and you do a lot
Oh,
of
thank you.
transactions, and you help a lot of people out there. So
Thank
let's
you.
let's fast forward to today. You've been in the real estate business for 10 years. You're
Uh-huh.
opening up a new brokerage. Is that correct?
That's right. Bloom and Prosper Realty. Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. And that's going to be your
Uh-huh.
brokerage?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay. Do you
I'm
have
very excited. Yeah.
well, congratulations. Do you
Thank
have team
you.
members yet, or are you looking to hire, or what's going on?
I do. I have two members from my team are coming along with me. So yes, and I'm open to meeting new people and anyone who's looking for a really good broker and mentor. I'm happy to have a conversation with them.
Hey, realtors, if you're listening in the Houston area, give Azalea a call.
Hey, give me a call. Yeah.
Well, I know you. I know some special things about you. So you speak two languages. Is that correct?
That's right.
What are the two languages that you speak?
I speak three if you want to count English, but
Yes,
yes, I
please.
speak Farsi and Spanish as well.
That's awesome.
Yep.
And what percentage of your clientele are Farsi and Spanish?
Oh, I would have to say probably like I guess like 50, 60%, a little bit over 50%. Yeah.
That's a
It's a
lot.
lot. Yeah,
I-
lots of Persian and Spanish speaking clients. Yes.
how do you cater to that? Is that something that you advertise or what? Because definitely taking advantage of your assets that you know. You know.
Yeah, I don't necessarily advertise one language or another language, in front of another. But it is posted on all my advertising that I do speak Farsi and Spanish. And I know that some people are just more comfortable when they have someone that can speak their language. Naturally too, with your community, I'm very, but my community, or I guess my sphere of influence, as they call it, is very, very diverse. So a lot of my friends, are the ones that use me for real estate, and their friends, their coworkers, their spheres are also extremely diverse. So I mean, most of the times we can speak in English, but of course, like as I mentioned, some people are just more comfortable in their native language.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
and that goes for everything. Even though they can speak English well, I mean it's the
yeah,
largest transaction of their life. So they want to
that's
speak
right.
in a familiar language that they grew up on, and they want to speak that.
That's right.
My team is bilingual, and we're looking to add different ethnic groups along the way just to help our clients out there because that's what the borrowers want. That's what the borrowers want. We in the business have to give them what they want if we want to do business.
And that's super helpful because, especially with mortgage, it's a lot of details. And although I might speak both languages, I may not know the exact terminologies that are pertaining to mortgage. So it's very helpful to have a lender that can also explain in their own language
Well,
what
I'm
it
glad
is.
you said that
Yeah,
because sometimes mortgage terminology doesn't translate from English to Spanish or English to
true,
Farsi, English to
true,
whatever. So
true.
it's really important to be able to speak the native tongue. Um,
That's right.
that's awesome. So let's fast
Awesome.
forward to how you're getting your leads. Are you all organic sphere of influences or are you? Because the big thing right now is a lot of people. I have about some realtors buy leads from Zillow and all that stuff and the lead sources and some don't. Where are you at with that?
Yeah, I don't buy leads, and I don't recommend to any of my agents to buy leads, especially maybe at the beginning. If you are not, I understand there's some teams that are very large and they pay for leads, and that's kind of how they generate more business or supplemental business. But I think there's plenty of ways that you can reach out to your own sphere of influence, and those leads can generate from there. Early in my career, I was like, oh, yes, let me pay for Zillow and let me get some leads. And I will tell you, the leads that come from paid services are not the same quality as when you get a referral or when it's someone that you know. Um, Even on our side, of course, they come in, they know that you do a great job because they've heard it from so and so, and they trust you like right away. But also, as a realtor, our job is pretty dangerous. Like, we'll show up to a house, we have no idea who the person is going to be.
Yeah.
So it's always nice to know, oh, so and so referred you. Okay, at least they know you, so it's not going to be a crazy person showing up at the door, trying to do some harm or something like that.
Let's talk about that a little bit. A lot of people don't talk about that. The
Yeah,
the safety of
yeah,
realtors and meeting a stranger in a vacant house or
yeah,
whatever. Have you ever
yeah.
had any incidents or anything like that happen to you that was weird?
Knock on wood, knock on wood, I have not. But I do take certain precautions, especially like open houses, you anyone is able to come through the door. So if like an open house is multi-level, I stay at the first level. I stay kind of closer to the door, and things like that. If I show up to a house and I don't feel comfortable, I don't get a good sense of that person, I might just say, oh, hey, oops, I'm sorry, I have an emergency, I have to go. So, but I will say nowadays, that's when I first started. Now with HAR, the Houston Association of Realtors, we're very fortunate that they provide a service called Forewarn to us. And we can type in anyone's phone number and it pulls up all of their information. It actually even pulls up their criminal history.
Cool.
So uh-huh. It's
That's
called the
awesome.
app. Yeah, it helps a lot. It really, really helps a lot because also, we get scams all the time. Oh, I have a land I want to sell. You look up the phone number and you see it's actually not the owner, it's like someone else. So you can kind of fish out people like that as well. It kind of makes you feel like the FBI a little bit.
I love it. I love it.
But it is very, very helpful. Especially in our business, like you said, we're going to a vacant house and meeting someone that we don't know.
Well, let's
You
let's
know.
talk a little bit about the Houston real estate market. You had a great
Yeah.
year in 2024, and as we
Oh,
sit
thank
here
you.
today, it's
Thank you.
mid-April, and
Yeah.
2025. And what are you seeing out there in the Houston real estate market?
Yeah, it's very interesting time right now. Definitely the start of this year, and I would say all the way up till now, it's been a very active market. There's a lot of buyers that are sitting on the sidelines, and excuse me, when they see something that hits what they're looking for, they will go after it, and also other buyers will go after it too. So we have seen many cases of bidding wars on different properties.
Yeah.
Other properties, however, if they're overpriced or they're not, in the best condition, or even if they are nice, but they have carpet everywhere, those are the houses that are either A, sitting for longer, or B, reduced way under market value. Compared to last year, though, I will say this market is a much stronger market. Last year, towards the end of the year, it was extremely slow in Houston.
And well,
So,
Houston's a great market. We have
yeah,
35% more inventory than we did a year ago. So I mean,
yes,
there's definitely more
yes,
listings. One thing though is houses are sitting a little bit longer. So you guys tell your sellers,
that's true.
hey, be patient. It's not 2021. You're not
That's true.
gonna you're not gonna list it and then get 50 offers over the weekend. I think
Right,
the
right.
average days I think the average days listings right now is 60 to 180 days, right?
Yeah, I would if I'm sitting on a property for 180 days, I start to get nervous.
Well, yeah,
But
yeah.
but I will say like that's pretty accurate. It's like 60 days, 50 to 60 days is pretty accurate. If even if the property is priced well, presented well, everything, it's just taking a little bit longer. Yes.
Hey, Azalea, I have to ask, because they say 35% of all purchases are first-time home buyers. What are you seeing out there for first-time home buyers?
Oh, I'm trying to think. I would say that's pretty accurate. Yeah, I would say a third. Yeah, a third of buyers being first time home buyers.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes.
Well,
I do see a lot more people interested in buying their first home, but they might be reluctant because they're not, I guess they're not knowledgeable about the programs and all the different services that are available to them. So that's a big part of me and my team is we offer those services. We have a first time home buyers workshop that we do, and we invite people from the industry to give them guidance on each of the portions of the contract because it can be overwhelming. It's a lot of details. You don't know, like, am I paying the right price for this, or all of those things. But really, if you just seek out the right people and get the right information, it becomes a much easier process. So,
absolutely. I'm glad
yeah.
you say that because we as a lender, we have a lot of great programs out there. We have
Yeah.
100% financing with FHA, so you can get
Uh,
basically walk in a house with zero down, or we have
yeah.
down payment assistance, 3 to 5% of the loan amount. So again,
Yes.
basically you can walk in with almost zero down.
Yes.
So a lot of people are taking advantage of this. It's the education wise. It's the
Yeah.
largest purchase, and people just don't know what they don't know. So you gotta.
Right.
I think that's where education comes in. You got to
Yes.
teach you got to teach them about all the different programs and all the different stuff that they're available to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's awesome.
I just remember as a realtor when I started, I didn't know there was all different kind of programs. I thought you had to have good credit score, you had to have down payment and and everything whenever you buy a house. But it's very good to know like different programs because not everyone's situation is the same.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. So tell me,
Uh-huh.
what life experience has shaped you to where you are today? Anything from your
Oh
past
my
that you
God.
you implement on a daily basis right here?
Um, I mean, there's a lot of different experiences that shape what I do. I guess maybe we can talk about like real estate. For me, I think that I feel like everyone, no matter of their background, I'm talking about socioeconomic, cultural, whatever background it is, should ever have obstacles to owning a home. And I want my life experiences have been like, as I mentioned, my friends group, the community growing up, has always been extremely diverse. I've known people from all different backgrounds, not only culturally speaking, but also socioeconomically speaking. And I see my purpose in life as being there of service to help everyone own a home, have a place where they can be comfortable, where they can be there, they can build generational wealth. And I think that's so important. And that guides my activities every day. I really want to be of service to everyone, you know.
Well, I was just going to go
Yeah.
into your core value, but I think you kind of put
Ah!
life experiences and core value all together.
Yeah.
That's what makes you
Yeah.
such a great realtor. Well, tell me
Oh,
this.
thank you.
How do you
Uh,
define success, and what do you think has been your biggest success so far?
wow. Great question. I think success is defined as being of service to somebody. If you could do something that they didn't expect was possible. um, I've worked with many different clients who they thought it was impossible to get a home, and we found a solution. We made it work for them. And I think those, when you talk about being successful as a realtor, I mean, of course, like numbers and volume, and we have all those data and everything like that. For me, it's how can I help somebody that thought they were not able to get a home, and start building that generational wealth for them and their family and prospering. So,
And that is why you're a high-end realtor. And I
oh,
noticed you
thank
didn't
you.
say units or volume or anything like that.
Yeah,
You define your success by helping other people, and that's
that's
awesome.
right. That's
That's
right.
why you're doing
Thank
what
you.
you're doing. So that kind of leads me into, I want you to go back in time to kind of when you first started. What can you think of
Okay.
that one transaction that you did that uh, in the beginning that you said, you know what? I want to become a realtor full time. This is my calling. This is why I become a realtor. Can you think of a transaction that really goes back in time that made you, you know, really touched your heart?
That's a great question. I mean, I feel like there's been several,
Yeah.
that have. I guess I would, because I was really pushed into it for full time. My plan was to do it part time, and then we ended up having a conflict with my principal. So it wasn't really a decision I made to say, okay, I'm going to go in full time. My boss, so to speak, was like, oh, we're closing your position. So I had to just jump. But since then, I've had several different deals that have confirmed that I'm in the right place, so to speak. So I don't know if there's something that motivated me to take the jump, but definitely have received a lot of confirmations there. Um, I would have to say probably early on, I was working with a lady who she wanted to buy a house. She saw my listing. She came, she looked at the house, toured it, and she's like, oh, I really like it. But then she was like hesitant. And so it turns out after talking to her, she was working with another realtor, and the other realtor was really pressuring her to show him the proof of funds, because she said, I can pay cash. Here's my proof of funds. Now she was a cleaning lady, so he was like, no, I really need to make sure you have the money, and I don't want to waste my time. And that kind of rubbed her a little bit the wrong way. So I mean, I took a chance. I told her, no, you don't have to show me anything. If you don't have the money, you're the one wasting the time running around, and everything like that. But over the course of looking at several different houses, we really formed a really good friendship. And finally, we did find the house that she liked, and she bought it. And afterwards, she told me the story. She said, Azalia, I've been working as a cleaning lady all my life. However, half of my check I always put in savings, and I did not touch it. And it was because of those savings that I was able to purchase the home.
What a
Um,
great story.
isn't
20
that an
years of
amazing
just,
story?
I
Yeah.
love it.
So I just was so impressed with her, because that takes a lot of dedication. It takes a lot of discipline. And it's unfortunate that other people didn't believe in her to help her make that happen. And, to this day, like clockwork, her and her sister bring me Christmas gifts every every Christmas. There's not been a Christmas we've missed so far. So I'm so grateful for them, and they've referred me to several other people, and just want, I'm very happy for them that they were able to get into a house and start building their wealth there too.
That is
Yeah,
awesome. Is there anything
yeah.
in business that keeps you up at night?
I think it's touch and go. It's like some deals are a little more harder than others, like sometimes you're I'm a natural, I'm a human, I stress out like, oh, is this going to work out? So much of being a realtor is out of our control. We're just here to kind of piece the things together and keep the ball rolling, so to speak. And so sometimes you just have to say, okay, I've done the best I can. I'm going to go to sleep, and hopefully in the morning everything will be fine. And usually it happens. So luckily, it's worked out more times than not, I guess, so to speak.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well,
Yeah,
Azalea, we could sit here and talk all day, and we'll have to do a second podcast of what 2025 brought for you, because I know it's going to be
sure,
great things.
sure.
What did we not talk about that we should talk about today?
Oh, I think that just that I'm excited to start this new adventure of owning my own brokerage. And yeah, hey, if you're looking for a house in Houston, you're looking to sell your house in Houston, you're looking to invest in Houston, I'm your girl. So definitely make sure I'm very active on my social media platforms. Definitely find me on Instagram, find me on Facebook, on Google, and make sure you follow me so you can see what I'm doing in 2025.
Well, I can tell you this:
Yeah.
if you're looking for a real estate in Houston, and I know they want to find you, how they get hold of you, Azalea? You have a contact information?
Yeah, easiest way is my phone number, 713-304-5361.
And if you're watching this live, folks, you saw that go across the lower thirds. And here's the deal, folks. If you're looking for Houston real estate, or if you're an agent looking for a brokerage to join, call Azalea. She's your lady. All right. Well, I'm David Wynn. I'm with the Mortgage Edge podcast. Thanks for being with us today. Stay tuned for the next
Thank
episode.
you.
Bye, guys.
Thank you so much. Bye.